All right, let's dive into something that, let's be honest, can feel a little tricky for a lot of us. We're going to talk about how to completely transform the way you ask for client testimonials, turning it from this awkward, kind of cringy task into something that actually feels really good for both of you. You know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach. You've done amazing work, your client is thrilled, but then it's time to ask. And it just feels weird, like you're being transactional or even a little bit pushy. Well, you're definitely not alone. And the good news is there's a much better way to do this.
So here's the big idea, the mental shift that changes everything. We're going to stop thinking about this as an ask for a favor. Instead, we're going to start seeing it as an invitation for your client to step into the spotlight and share their own incredible story. This is about empowering them, not just getting a marketing blurb.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll break down exactly why the old way feels so awkward. Then, we'll get into a simple three-part framework: how to find the magic moment, how to craft a request that actually feels good, and then how to guide them to tell their best story. And finally, we'll see how this whole thing just transforms the entire experience.
So, let's tackle the #1 mistake we all make. We wait too long. We wait until the project is wrapped up, the final invoice is paid, and then, kinda as an afterthought, we go, "Oh, hey, could you write me a testimonial?" By then, all that amazing positive energy has faded. It just feels like one more piece of homework for them to do.
And that leads us right into the most important part of this whole framework. It's all about identifying what I call the magic moment. This is a total game changer, and it's all about timing. It's about catching that wave of excitement at its absolute peak.
So what is a magic moment? It's that exact point in time when your client is absolutely buzzing. They've just had a huge win, they're seeing the results, and they are just overflowing with excitement and positive emotion. It's that genuine, heartfelt wow moment. That's what we're looking for.
And what does this actually look like? Well, it's when they have that aha moment and something finally clicks. Or when they use a skill you taught them and it actually works. Maybe they text you saying they just landed a new client or got a promotion. You'll know it when you feel it. The energy is just electric. And you can really see the difference here. When you ask at the end, it's a chore. The excitement is gone. You're going to get a response that feels like an obligation. But when you ask right in the middle of a big win, it feels like you're celebrating with them. The energy is sky high and you get a real emotional story. Okay, so you've spotted the magic moment. They're buzzing with excitement. What do you actually say? This is where we get to step 2, crafting the request. And the key here is to remember it's an invitation, not a demand.
Look how simple and genuine this is. You're not saying, "Can you do me a favor?" You're just matching their energy. That's incredible. And then you give their win a bigger purpose. You're telling them their story can actually help someone else. It feels so natural, so authentic.
Now, if you need to follow up maybe in an email or a text, it breaks down into 4 super simple parts. First, start with a real, specific compliment. Second, give them the why, how their story can inspire others. Third, use soft, no-pressure language like "would you be open to?" And finally, and this is crucial, make it ridiculously easy for them.
And check it out. You can see how this works for different channels. The email version has a little more detail, but it follows the formula perfectly. The text version is short, sweet, and to the point. Both are personal, they have a purpose, and they make it incredibly simple for the client to say yes. Amazing. They said yes? So now what? Well, this is the last step, and it's where we go from getting a bland quote to capturing a powerful story of transformation. You are now their story guide.
You know, every great story has a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Well, a great testimonial is no different. You've got the problem they started with, the transformation they had working with you, and the success they're enjoying now. Your job is just to help them tell that 3-act story.
And the way you do that is with powerful, open-ended questions. Instead of asking, "Did you like it?" you ask things like this. These questions make them think, they make them reflect, and they pull out the real story in their own words. Honestly, these questions are gold. You might want to pause and screenshot this slide.
So as we wrap this up, let's bring it all together. This whole framework, this entire approach, it's all built on one core idea: honoring your client's journey. When you do that, the ask stops being an ask, and it becomes a genuine asset for everyone involved.
And remember, the goal here is not to get some perfectly polished, scripted answer. Not at all. The real magic, the best testimonials, they come from creating a space where your client just feels comfortable and celebrated enough to tell their real story. You're just there to listen and guide them. So there you have it. That's the entire framework. It's so simple, right? Find that magic moment of peak excitement. Craft a request that feels like a genuine invitation, and then guide their story using those open-ended questions. It turns what used to be an awkward chore into a truly meaningful experience.
So now, the only thing left is to actually go out and do it. Think about the people you're working with right now. I'll leave you with this one question to think about. Whose success story will you help tell first? Thanks for tuning in.